I can't believe it has taken me this long to go ahead and showcase Ultimate Escanor in the Hasvalga raid, and that's exactly what we're doing in today's video, showing what I believe to be the best team for the event. I will go a little bit further into the gear, all that kind of stuff at the end of the video, but when it comes to the artifact set, of course, using the bird set, and then comes to the gear, these are the sets we're going to be using. Once again, rolls all that kind of stuff at the end along with all of the cosmetic upgrades, but this unit makes the birds so much easier, and I feel as if though ever since the Festivals King's release, he's definitely made the content so much better than with the release of Magelda, and then her Holy Relic is the real big turning point. Without Magelda and the Holy Relic, I know it can be a little bit hard to farm. If you maybe don't have Magelda replacement unit, you're probably going to be looking at the Ladurcel Margaret. The Festival one with the cleanse can put absolute work, but unlike the other two demonic beasts, a lot more, I'd have to say this one's a lot more based on the team and strategy. I feel as if though the deer can be very RNG dependent, and especially with having to go through the color wheel, all that kind of stuff, you're restricted on what units you can use. Escanor and Trainer Melee being kind of out of the picture. You can still go ahead and get the raid done with them. I'm still going to go ahead and do a Arcano video using Escanor, all that kind of stuff, but you're definitely a lot better using Jormungandr, Frey, you know, those characters with an attribute they could actually go ahead and cycle with. Once again, you can simply get unlucky and the whole rotation is done, but Bird's at the point now where we've had so many good units released, it's pretty hard to fail sometimes. I can go ahead and still fail this. Bad card RNG, maybe I just play the raid absolutely terribly. Hopefully that one doesn't happen. The only real time you do get to fail is the second floor, phase 2. You either need 2 of the Escanor single target cards, or if you can build up Freyr ultimate before that second phase, you should be pretty good, but not a crazy amount to talk about in this first floor. Pretty much just saving up cards, getting everyone's ultimate for the final phase where the resistance passive kicks in, and then you have to be using those power strike cards, or we're at the point now where melee single target cards with enough buffs will do damage, Escanor's single target card will do enough damage, and you end up building through these pretty quick. The Magelda heal card, give me us extra buffs, cleanse, you don't really need to focus on the passives a crazy amount. Maybe if you are struggling a little bit with the content, by all means you can go ahead and try and use some better passives, but I might actually go and move these Escanor cards. This will make us last 2 turns on this third phase, but that should be enough to, get us enough to kill in the next turn the second we move in. Yeah. Phase 2, Floor 2 has the insta-kill if you don't end up killing him in that turn. Usually you can counteract that by having a stance character or a counter character on the rotation with their counteractive, but we're not using any Matrona, anything like that. We're trying to get through the deer or the bird as fast as possible, so just going ahead and using full DPS units. I do know that's why we have the Tarmiel Grace on the Freya there. Not only is he the weakest unit defensively, but as you can see, we did also apply the block effect to the bird. That only happens in some of the earlier floors. Don't see it a crazy amount in the other ones, but it's helpful. First floor isn't anything too crazy, and it ends up maybe saving you a bit of HP going into that second floor. Now that we're into this fourth phase, I do find the Freyr ultimate doesn't end up doing a lot of damage. Unfortunately, we'll still go ahead and throw that one out, but melee will do a crazy amount of damage, should hit level cap every single time. Magelda's ultimate is made to hit level cap with the power strike. The death effect, even at 6/6, you'll find, 107,000 is still good, but Escanor will be able to finish this off with a single target card. Yeah, look, more damage from a level 2 from Escanor, but very easily. Not a crazy amount to talk about in this first floor. And I do still have a lot of the bird Holy Relics to grind. I think I'm going to start spending some of my first time clear rewards on the deer, because I feel like he's the most annoying to grind. There's not a crazy amount of those that I still have left to do. Yeah, it's once you get Jormungandrs as well, they're pretty easy to go ahead and farm. Yeah, moving on to the second phase here. This one's not too bad. From memory, you want the alt gauge passive, if that's one of the bird ones. Maybe I'm mixing that with deer. I think deer might be it's been so long since I've gone ahead and ground this. I've been doing this one a lot more since this Escanor release, just due to the level of ease he puts on the activity. This is, if you can have this team, it is absolutely broken. You maybe want to go ahead and swap out Freya depending on your ult levels for the character. The death effect is saying it's so important and gets so much stronger at those extra ult levels. The jump between 5 and 6/6 being an extra 30% to the death effect damage, and obviously your main ultimate multiplier going up a little bit. I don't remember the exact percentages or that kind of stuff, but yeah, you can of course replace Freya I know Cusack is a very good replacement, especially with him having Holy Relic now. He can end up outputting a lot of damage, and then his ultimate as well is also Power Strike, if I'm not mistaken, and then it has the extra hit at the end, kind of like the Abyss effect. Sorry about that. But yeah, once again, block effect here, going to be taking a lot less damage, and then whenever we get these heal cards, kind of throwing them out, I may go ahead and use my attack cards first, just because I don't want to get us too strong, and then if we end up using 2 single target cards in a turn, we can proc that second part of the Trader Melee passive where we get that extra damage reduction. We ended up doing 3 attacks anyway, so that gives Melee a couple more buffs, but here's what I'm showcasing, and we really need to go ahead and get this Escanor single target card. Please, Netmarble? Okay, perfect, yeah. Plenty of cards, so we'll go 1, 2. We will need a 3rd strong card, so this will work. I'll use the melee one just to be safe, and then we can just use a fodder attack card, but basically damage cap comes in here 30%, so Escanor is able to break through that with his extra Scorch effect. Melee will end up killing him, but he has an extra revive, which is why that Scorch effect really comes in clutch, and then this extra Amplify card will finish him off, so that's the only phase you really have to worry about just a little bit. This phase probably good here that we have all of these heal cards. We will use this, do a little bit of damage, move you two, and then I guess we'll just go double heal, or we could probably move the Freya card instead, get his ultimate. Yeah, this one here, just go ahead and do your first couple health bar, just a little bit of damage. In this first one, if you end up doing too much, the bird will fully heal, so you do want to save your ultimates for the final phase as well, just to burst through that one with as much HP, but you can still use them in this phase. If you have Escanor Scorch cards, once again, we should be perfectly fine. We can go ahead and cleanse that infect if we really want to, but I don't know how necessary that'll be. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and that should be more than enough. Once again, the Scorch card being, or the Scorch effect being very, very important here. Man, look at that damage. Unit is really something else, and then, yeah, just chuck out the Stance Cancel card. It's a bit of a waste. That's probably the only card on the team that doesn't have a crazy effect. I'd say the Miguel the Amplify single target ends up doing a little bit, just because of how many buffs she builds up throughout the fight, but we'll cleanse that, and then I'm hoping this is enough to go ahead and kill. I think it might be, especially with the Death Effect. I don't think this 4th and final phase has a level cap on it, so throw this one out here, should do reasonably well. Okay, level cap, but Death Effect works absolute wonders, and then 3 cards you're able to burst through that second floor pretty quickly. That one requires a little bit more thinking about the actual phases and the effects that come in, but once you master them, they come down pretty easily. Gosh, I need to grind a lot of those. We should be getting a whole bunch of those Magnificence of Valhalla in the box here. I'm guessing sometime within the next day or so, just as compensation for the Grimoire nerf. Also going to be getting a whole bunch of cosmetic upgrades. I know the Japanese version got theirs a little while ago. Definitely a couple days at this point, but as long as it comes to the global version, that's the main thing. I thought we should have had it by yesterday. People were saying the 26th, but it's the 27th now, and it's, what, just shy of midday, so who knows when we'll be getting those. Surely before the Purgatory Meliodas comes out, because I can imagine a lot of people are going to end up using that just to make an extra 15% set for Meliodas. That's probably what I'd advise doing with the 15% as well. I know a lot of you guys, especially since he's the main character, have a good gear set built for him, but let's say if you have a attack defense set, go ahead, make a HP crit set. That way you can really change things up all you like, and then even if you have a Meliodas in your team, you're most likely going to have one as an association as well, so you can kind of use that association gear to help out your CC a bit. Cleanse card, very, very important here. We might not get to showcase it, but due to the Holy Relic having the cleanse effect, we can cleanse this blockade. The first phase, how it works is the bird, and I'm not too sure on the percents once again, but I think it's 70% damage reduction to level 1, and yeah, 70% damage reduction to level 1 cards, but also has the block effect to stop you from using any higher level cards, so you can go ahead and cleanse those. You're going to be able to do real good damage with level 2s. This phase ends up being a lot tankier than the extra couple. Can see a couple of deaths here, especially earlier on in the bird's lifespan, but might not end up getting the... It's not like he has enough HP to use 2 single target cards either. That should be fine though. We'll end up saving a lot of really strong attack cards for these next 2 phases, because you generally want to get through those pretty quickly. The next phase has a card deletion, so wherever he attacks he'll end up deleting, oh my god, And this is why we have Tarmiel Grace, because if he gets greedy and goes for one character over and over again, yeah, you can definitely see them dying. Hopefully there's a bit of health. That's alright. I'll end up getting a bit of... Oh no. I'm actually throwing. I mean, we can get him ultimate by moving a card now. Are we gonna die? Oh, okay, no, ultimate. Ultimate doesn't end up doing as much damage as I thought it would. Thank God for that. Oh, and then what's this? I usually don't know. Okay, so it's just damage taken decrease. That's perfectly fine. I thought we royally screwed ourselves over there. I might just end up using you just to get you out of my hand. Yeah, Freya ultimate for the next phase as well. We're gonna probably end up... Have 2 cards sealed. Yeah, no, this should be fun. We'll go Escanor single target, and then double melee, I suppose. Yeah, card deletion on this phase, and then I'm trying to remember what the third phase is. I'm usually pretty good with actually remembering what all of them do. Oh yes, so the third phase, we want to try to go ahead and get through it as fast as possible. For each turn the bird ends up surviving, he puts more and more debuffs on your team, to the point where I think once you get 3, 4, or 5 turns in, you are completely unable to attack, and they're grey debuffs, so you cannot go ahead and remove them. So yeah, we ended up having pretty good stuff. You definitely want to save all of your ultimates for the final phase. It's very important having Trader Melee here, or some kind of character with buff removal, because the bird, depending on the passive, you may want to play a tad bit slow, and if he manages to get his, I think it's by the 3rd turn he gets evade, if you don't have any buff removal, he's going to constantly recycle that revive. It's going to be pretty stuffed. We ended up getting the best passive here, so no revive for him, and for that we are going to absolutely finish him off. Should be enough damage to get the kill here. Yeah, look at that. When he doesn't have revive, there is nothing you have to worry about, and you can spam your ultimates. You could probably bet on using a couple ultimates in the 3rd phase, and pray for a good passive on the final one, and then kind of work through it a bit easier. Really want to try and do a lot of damage in the first turn as well, since the more HP he has, the more damage he ends up doing. But there we go, our wind source, and then still 5 off another Holy Relic. I'd probably say if you guys don't like grinding this activity a crazy amount, we do and very rarely have events where they double the wind sources you get from beating this 3rd and final stage. So it doesn't end up doubling the first time clear rewards, but can still help out. There's so many of these Holy Relics to get through. It is absolutely wild. But anyways, there it is. That is Escanor and the what I believe to be the best team. Oh yeah, I should probably go ahead and show the gear sets for all of the characters. I don't really remember all of them too well. Obviously, the Trader Melee and Escanor are going to end up having pretty good ones. Freya is not really a character you need to invest into cosmetics. I feel like Melee pretty much everyone should have done. Yeah, full 15% except for the... Oh no, never mind. Missing some pieces, but at that point he's pretty well set. Cosmetics all maxed out. And it'll be same for the Escanor. Yeah, all pretty decent stuff. And then cosmetics there. Escanor's only 3/6, but at that you can still do damage cap. You're mainly using him there for his single target cards. As long as you have his gear built, should be just fine. Miguel the 6/6 as well. And then I'd say attack. Defense is definitely really, really good. You want her to be able to deal damage, because this one, yeah, based off her attack, and then every time you get to full HP, she will give everyone an extra buff. So by using the heal card, you end up getting 2 buffs if your attack is high enough, which can be very, very strong. And then, yeah, associations. We won't run through those, but once again, that just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If so, please hit the like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.